Welcome back to another Bolt tutorial. In this video, we're going to explore how you can create a social media post generator, all from Bolt. We're going to use a variety of server functions so that we can generate research questions, conduct deep research, and then format these to be a social post. Let's dive in. To improve the relevance and accuracy of these social media posts, we're going to break this process into 3 steps instead of just one, creating an individual agent for each of the steps. So here's our first prompt. Build a site for users to determine questions they can ask to learn more about relevant topics related to their career. It should find topics which are popular and timely. It should ask for the user's role, industry, company, and the level of complexity. Use this information and send it to Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.8 model to determine relevant questions. This is a new model, so do research on how to implement. Do not require user authentication. Now, let's enhance this prompt. It'll ask us some relevant questions. With those questions answered, let's enhance. This all looks good, so let's put it in plan mode and we'll generate our plan. We've answered the clarifying questions and let's build. The build is complete and now it's asking us for our Anthropic API key, which is a very good sign. Let's paste that in here. We've filled out those inputs. Now let's test it out. Should be sending that information to a server function. It's asking the Opus 4.8 model to create some questions for us. And here we go. Here's some example questions. How can I implement HIPAA compliant data handling practices in wellness SaaS web applications, particularly when storing and transmitting sensitive health information? Very good question. Another one. What are the current best practices for ensuring scalability and reliability in a SaaS web application as wellness platform user base grows? So step 1 is working well. We're asking the right questions. Step 2 is now create our deep research agent. So here's our prompt. Now that these questions are being created, a user should be able to click one, which expands the question to reveal a button on the bottom which says Begin Research. This should send the question over to Google Deep Research API, research and use the most recent model, and generate a research report. Note this will take up to 20 minutes, so don't let it time out and inform the user this will take a while. Let's now plan this out. Here are our clarifying questions. We'll answer those and turn it off plan mode. Now send off the build. The build's complete. The agent's asking us for our Gemini API key, which is great. Let's paste that in. We'll create our secret. Let's test it out. We'll ask questions again, this time for an engineer in a solar panel sustainability company, and the complexity is beginner. So we'll generate our questions. Here's a good one. How is solar panel efficiency measured and what factors commonly affect a panel's performance in real-world conditions? Let's select this and begin research. The Gemini Deep Research agent has begun and we'll see how this goes. On our first attempt, the research report came back empty. It's saying, try running it again, but we need to change something in the code. So let's tell the agent exactly this. Here's our prompt. After initiating the deep research report, the report came back empty after running for several minutes. Let's fix. The agent's finished, so let's try this again. This time we'll be a data center engineer working in the space industry for SpaceX, asking beginning questions. Let's generate these questions. Here are some interesting questions. I like this one. What is edge computing and why is it becoming increasingly important for satellite and space-based systems like Starlink? So let's open this up and we'll begin our research. About 5 minutes has passed and the Google Deep Research report is ready. We can see it's got a huge amount of text here. If we go down even further, we can see all of the sources that it cited to create this article. The UI isn't ideal, so let's prompt a fix. Here's our prompt. Instead of showing the research report inside the question card, add a sidebar to the page showing generated questions and whether or not research report has been created from them. Also add a research reports page where finished research should be saved here and build. Great, so the UI is looking a lot better. We've got our questions visible in the sidebar and our research reports too. We can view all of our reports, and when we select in one of them, we can see them in larger detail. Now we're ready to create our third AI agent within this project. So the first thing we've done is we've created our questions. The second one is we've done deep research. And this final one will be to summarize and condense the research into a compelling social post. So let's look at our prompt. Add another server function to send off the research report using a similar Claude Opus 4.8 server function as generating the questions. This should summarize the report and write a compelling social post used for either X or LinkedIn. The users should select the platform and it should adjust the prompt based on which is chosen. These generated posts should be shown in another page in the sidebar. Looks good? Let's build. The prompt's complete, so let's test it out. Now we have social posts. Starlink satellites made about 50,000 autonomous collision avoidance maneuvers in just 6 months. No humans involved. That's edge computing in orbit. Starlights now think, route, and dodge debris on their own. The cloud isn't just in the sky anymore, it is the sky. So effectively, what we've done here is we've created a relevant question to the industry. We then spent a whole bunch of compute researching this. It took about 5 minutes. We used dozens and dozens of sources, and we've synthesized all of that into a research report. From there, we've then created a social post based on that research report, and we're ready to share this. Let's test this out again. This time, the report is about how solar panel efficiency is measured and what factors commonly affect a panel's performance in real-world conditions. Scrolling to the bottom, we can generate our post. This time we're doing it for LinkedIn, and we'll see how this differs. Just like that, the second social post has been generated. Notice that it's longer and it's better formatted for LinkedIn as opposed to the other one for X. Let's go through it. Your solar panel's efficiency rating is a lab number. The field test tells a different story. That 22% efficiency printed on the datasheet, it's measured under standard test conditions, 1,000 watts per square meter of irradiance at a perfect 25-degree cell temperature, conditions that almost never exist in a real rooftop. Here's what actually erodes real-world yield. Heat, soiling, shading. That's why the industry has shifted from chasing nameplate efficiency to tracking performance ratio. How are you accounting for real-world losses in your energy yield models? It's quite insightful, isn't it? We can see it's referencing stats, and it's obviously been drawn from a wealth of knowledge which was taken from the research report. Effectively, in this project, we've created 3 agents. The first is generating the relevant questions. Second is doing a whole bunch of deep research on that topic. And then finally condensing that into a social post. This is a fantastic tool that you can use to help speed up and increase the amount of social posts that you've been doing. And by breaking it down into 3 different agents, especially using deep research, it's reduced the chance of any false facts making its way in. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and all the best implementing your own social post generator.